Good morning everyone, it's Behzad here from Hey World Coder. Welcome back to video number 2 of how to adding Google Map to our Android Studio project. So in this video we are going to learn how to create a project, and we are going to create a Google Cloud Console, and lastly set up our Firebase project. Today we are not going to work on any coding, we only just preparing our workspace for next video to start working on our project. What we need to work on, we're using Android Studio 3.6 version, and I assume you do have Android Studio on your PC or laptop. If you do not, I will leave the download link of Android Studio project in this video description, and you can download it from there. Now we are in our Android Studio, and as you see, the Android Studio is open, and we are going to start creating a new project. Go to start a new project. Before going ahead, whenever you're creating a project, before finish off here, one thing you have to remember, and it is very important because I remember I had too much trouble when I started to working with Android Studio, and that is the location where you saving your project. Because Android Studio will automatically, when you open it up, if you do have any project, it will save up from a default folder of the Android Studio installation. For example, if you install Android Studio on drive C on your PC, whenever you open up the Android Studio, it will load it from the C location, and that means if you do not have any project in that C location, whenever you're running your app, you're facing an error. So make sure you remember where you're saving your location, and every time you open up your app, you must load it from the location you saved it. So here we put a name on our app, just call it my map app. So package name, it will be same, and here is the save location. I do save it here. We're using Java languages for our project and API level 17. As you see the bottom here, that means this application we are going to create, it's capable of running on 99.2% of all the Android devices, which that is pretty good. Click on finish, and Android Studio takes some time to loading and creating a project. By the time this is loading, we are going to set up our Google Cloud Console. Go to Google. We are in our Google. By the way, before you starting, you must have a Google account to be able to create an account in Google Cloud Console. I assume you do have one. If you don't have one, you can just create one on here on your top right corner. Now just search Google Cloud Console. Here, open up the Google Cloud Console. You should see the page similar to this, but the difference, you do not have any project because you haven't built anything. But if you are just going briefly through what Google Cloud Console is, Google Cloud Console is similar to a library which hold all the projects or all the tools you need to build an app, like an Android apps. You can get it from here, and it will be a parent of all your application and all the APIs you are going to use for this app. So as you see, I have already created one project, but I'm going through with you to create a project, and I'm telling you how it works. Go on your middle of the section near to Google Cloud Platform, just click on it. Just go on right corner, just create a new project. Here you just call a name for your project, and the top one, it gives you a number of the projects you left to use as a free projects. Just go to project name, and whatever name you can put on to it, you can do it. I will recommend just put my map app, which it doesn't confuse you later on. So once you check the project name, then you click on create, and once it's all ready, you should see similar page as it is. This is for our Google Cloud Console. We will come back here later to set up our APIs and get an access to map tools. Next step is we are going to create a Firebase project. Let me start it from beginning. Firebase is connected to your Google project or Google Cloud Console, and whenever you are going to create a project in Firebase, you have to have a Google Cloud Console account. Otherwise, you won't be able to use the APIs and all the libraries from Google Cloud Console. So we are in our start page. Go to get started. You should see some page similar to this. Just go to your add project, and here comes up with your start project name. This name here, it will be similar to the project you've created here. If it doesn't come up, it takes some time. Just give a second or just refresh the page and then it will come up here. Once you click on continue, you should see similar page or window similar to this. Because we are going to create an Android app, click on Android, and here it comes up to your Android project, and here is the location where you are going to build a bridge between the Firebase and your application. Here it asks for our package name. Where is your package name? Go back to your project which you've created right now. The top one, it will be your package name. Just copy it and paste it on your project name. Adding your package name here. Here you can add whatever name you're going to be a nickname of your app. I will leave it blank. Then show one, you don't have to do anything about it. Just click on register. Step 2 is download Google JSON file. Click on download and wait until you see an error from your project. Here click OK. Then it will go to your savings, download. Here is your JSON file. Just cut it. Go to your root to your application wherever you saved it. Here is the location of my application where I've saved it. You should see similar folders. Go to your app folder, the third one from the top, and you're adding your JSON file here. Cut it from your download location and save it here. Next step, click on next, and here we are going to add these Firebase SDKs to our application. The first one is this green line. Copy it. Go back to your Android project. On left hand side you should see a window here, and this bottom one, it says Gradual Scripts. Click on that triangle. The top one, it will be, you got to build Gradual here. We are interested on the top one, the project app's name. Double click. Here we got the dependencies and class path. Just paste the codes you got here. Do not sync it now. We will sync it later. Just paste it here. Go back to your Firebase. These two, we are not worried about them. Just come to your dependency Firebase analyst. Copy this. Go back to your app. This time we are going to put it on our module app, the second folder on top. Click on it. Scroll down. Here in your dependencies, come down here. You just write down a comment, simple comment. Just put it as Firebase SDKs. This comment, it will give you some neat workspace, and whenever you're adding some same category of any SDKs to your app, then you can store them in a comment or in a container. Come down and paste your Firebase analyst here. You copy it from your website. Click on sync, and that it shouldn't take long. It takes a few minutes to come up, and as you see, the configuration is successful. Minimize here. We're done here. Go back to your application, and here we've done next. Here you have to run your app to make sure the Firebase is connected to your app successfully. You got two options here. Either you can run your app right now to see how it works, or we can skip this step and come back to it later. But I've just skipped this step for now, and I came to our project name. So we set up our Android Studio and it's ready to go. And if I'm going to recap what we have done is we created a Google Cloud Console, which what it does, it's a main library which you can use the items in this library and add it to your application. Here we set up a Firebase project. We create a project in Android Studio, and we connected our application in our Android Studio using the some bridges from our Firebase database and connected to our app. Now is everything's ready to work on, and we can start to work on our project in next video. And one thing before I finish off this video is to be able to using Google APIs for your Android projects, you must enable the billing for your application. And on the right hand side you got a billing, so do not worry, it's free of charge unless your app is going to be commercial and you're going to use it in commercially. But other than that, it's free and you got heaps of usage to use and add to your projects. So that's it for this video. In next video we are putting our hands on and start to building our application. Thanks for your time and watching. See you in next video.